Hey everyone, Dinman here. I'm going to be playing some Constructed with TJP Fliers. This is a deck that won the most recent ETS Invitational, played by Mouche. It's a very strong deck. It relies on cards with heavy influence requirements, Hooru, Pacifier, Shelterwing Rider, Unseen Commando, and Stand Together, as well as efficient spells like Equivocate, Vanquish, Finest Hour, to be an aggressive deck and push with hard to answer threats, because you can give them Aegis. They naturally have Aegis. They have flying, so that's not easy to block. And with a cheap interaction, you can ensure that they get through. I've had a ton of success with this on ladder, and I think it's one of the best decks in the format right now. So let's hop in and get some gameplay. All right, we're going second here. The main thing we want to consider is, do we have enough influence? That's what we're normally looking for in a hand. And this hand does have enough influence, but it doesn't have anything to spend it on, so we're going to redraw. That's one of the main ways this deck loses, is not getting sufficient influence. Since I want to play Kothon on turn 2, and I need to use the Stiplo Seal for time, because we don't have time in the rest of our hand, it makes sense to play Hooru Banner first. So that way we can go Diplo Seal for time, and then we'll have sufficient influence to cast Kothon on turn 2. Looks like our opponent is playing Praxis Tokens, which is not the easiest matchup for us, but it's not a horrible one either. With a lot of our Flyers, they can't really block them very efficiently. The key to this matchup is going to be attacking with Unseen Commandos. So we ideally want to bait out Torches and pumped removal spell effects, Torches or Purifies or whatever my opponent might be playing, onto the Kothon rather than onto an Unseen Commando. So to that end, I think it's reasonable to just attack him with the Kothon. He doesn't really want to triple block anything. If you triple block, that means he's going to lose an initiative stance, and I don't think he wants to do that. And we noticed he didn't have a pause there when we attacked. Or I guess he had a pause for the blocks, but it went pretty quick, so I don't think he had a torch. And that means we get to resolve a commando. And yeah, if one commando is good, I think two commandos is better. If he doesn't have a torch for these, they're going to get out of hand. They're going to swing the race wildly in our favor, because essentially every turn it attacks, it's an 8 damage swing. Gain 4, deal 4. So it looks like a rally to me, which is not the worst thing in the world. We can survive it. I'm not going to put my Unseen Commando at risk here. Let's just block an Initiative Sands, and we'll take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then plus 10. So we'll take 18 if he rallies here, which I'm totally okay with, because we just gain 8 on the backswing, and it's not that bad. If we were a little bit lower on life, from earlier aggression, then definitely that would be problematic, but we're not, so we're pretty good here. And we didn't want to, we wanted to kill off his extra power so that he couldn't cast a Heart of the Vault next turn, but it looks like he's going to get Heart of the Vault anyway, or he's going to get an extra power here. But actually we can deny that if we silence off one of his plus power cards, to deny him that. So let's do that. Let's silence off an Aurelian Merchant. We're going to gain him, 8 here, with plenty healthy. And now he doesn't have power to cast Heart of the Vault, which he probably grabbed out of his market. Or I guess he Xenobelisk. He didn't grab that out of the market, but that's still a decent card. That's alright. We're at a plenty healthy enough life total, and he's actually staring down lethal in air. Sweet. So got the win. That's the power of Unseen Commando against Dagger decks. Ooh, and first one of the day bonus. Nice. So many rewards. Hopefully, I'm going to play 3 games here on this video, and hopefully we win all 3 so we can complete our quest too and get even more rewards. Such a generous game. Really makes it good to be free to play. But yeah, so Praxis Tokens certainly can be very explosive and very resilient, but if you're able to gain life and kind of, yeah, like on that turn I just said, oh, I'm going to take 18. I don't really care. That's the power of lifesteal and Flyers to really put that kind of thing out of reach. we certainly could have gotten a lot worse if our opponent had a torch for one of the commandos, because then instead of getting 8 damage a turn and gaining 8, we're only dealing 3 and healing 3. So it's more than a 50% efficiency loss. You know, it's not like, okay, I've got, 2 guys and you kill one, so now I have half the power. It's really you have much less than that. This hand's not very great. We don't have enough influence to play Commando or anything to empower a weakened student. If we had, like, if Mirror Image was just like any other power, we'd probably keep it, but we can't. I'm gonna redraw. Well, there's a power. We don't have any units though, so we need to scout for a unit. Any unit will do with this hand. Kothon, that's probably one of the worst ones actually. Yeah, I'll play Crest. It's a 4th influence, or 4th power rather. Yeah, I'll keep it. Since that does make sure that we have, so the requirements for this deck are 1 time, 2 Justice, 2 Primal. And since we already have the time and 1 Primal, that'll be our 2nd Primal. This will be 1 Justice, and we can find a 2nd Justice with Seek Power, so we're all good for all of our spells at that point. And it's also an untapped 3rd power, so if I didn't have this Sigil, I'd have to Seek Power for my 3rd power, which means I can't cast Mirror Image or Stand Together on turn 3. And so now I can cast like Mirror Image on turn 3, and then on turn 4 I play Seek Power for power, and then I can play Stand Together. But all that goes out the window as he torches my guy. If he didn't torch, I would probably Mirror Image, but I can just play another one instead, and then we can play a power and grab our Justice Sigil. So same idea, but just a turn delayed. We could be hit with another torch here, which would be unfortunate. But if we get to, get to our turn with this hand, we can definitely protect this Kothon. Gen of Merchant I'm not concerned about. I mean, my opponent does get something good, but I can definitely protect this Kothon against whatever they might have. Looks like it's a more controlling kind of Skycard deck, maybe playing like Molat Nakova or something like that. Really don't want to Stand Together this thing. I think I might just attack if he blocks Finest Hour and then play Hooru Pacifier. That's probably the best line. This is only slightly problematic if he still has a torch, but I don't think he did. If he had a pause... If he like torched in response, then I probably have to Stand Together to counter the torch. And it's inefficient, but it works. It still trades 1 for 1. I don't want to get, any more than, or any less rather than 1 for 1. Ooh, that guy is touch annoying. Yeah. How about that? I guess I just have to block with the Hooru Pacifier and Stand Together. That is a little unfortunate. But that's our best line. He's gonna get the profit cards. If he doesn't attack, which he probably shouldn't, I'm just gonna Stand Together and then we're gonna Mirror Image on our turn. Unless we draw an untapped power, then we can activate Ultimate Kothon, which would also be pretty good. Or if we draw like a Vanquish, then we'll Permafrost Vanquish and then attack. So we got lots of options here. Hailstorm, yeah, I'm just gonna Stand Together. So I don't have Aegis on my guys, but they stay alive. And since they do technically still have Aegis as like listed on the card, if I would copy it with Mirror Image, it still keeps the Aegis, which is pretty neat interaction. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Mirror Image the Hooru Pacifier, so the new one will get an Aegis, and that one can stay back on defense, and we can just get in the air here. And then next turn we can Commando or Ultimate Kothon if we draw power. If we'd done any other line, if we just played Commando, then we don't actually get to make this block. Or we'd have to like do a double block, which is a little risky, and because this wouldn't have Aegis, so it would get blown out by a torch or something. Untap power, Ultimate Kothon, a space. And we're living good in the hood here. Kinda, sure. Not that relevant. Alright, sweet. 2-0. Yeah, this deck is quite powerful. I can definitely see why this won the Invitational. And so let's play one more. See if we can walk away with a completed quest. And 3 wins in a row. That would be awesome. I guess I have a ton of time in this video, right? It's only been 10 minutes. I normally make my videos about 20 minutes. But playing an aggro deck, it's pretty quick. I gotta redraw this hand since, you know, none of these, you know, only have 2 power. You really want 3 power in a deck like this, just to get the influence right. Instead I get 5 power, which, with all these scout, I guess 1 scout, it's not the worst. I just want to scout any other power to the bottom. So I'm gonna do that right away. Bottom. This isn't the same person, is it? No. I'll say it's looks like a similar kind of deck. Alright, so I'm just gonna play Hooru Banner. We've got all the influence we're gonna need of any color, so it doesn't really matter what I grab. Opponent is stuck on 2. That's gotta be pretty good for us. I was gonna play Kothon first, instead of Valk Enforcer, because I might want to silence something. Is it perhaps an aggro deck, actually? Oh, it's Common Cause. I thought that was Diplomatic Seal for a second. Common Cause. And it did get an influence, so it has 2 cards of the same type in hand. It's a Yeti Tribal deck. Alright, I like it. Unfortunately, our opponent stalled on power for a turn. Or no, they didn't. They didn't stall. They just had a slow start. So we're just going to silence this guy off. And get in there. Did they miss a power? Man, I have short-term memory loss already. It was only a couple minutes ago, and I'm already forgetting. Alright, Pok Pok Rock Paka. Bond, Reckless, we need Bond. Get a Snowball. Okay, so he's got a Snowball. Cannot Vanquish any of these. And Permafrost doesn't look all that great. I'm just going to attack in the air. I'm not going to block with Kothon. Ooh. Man, if we had a stand together right there, be game over. Sorry, we're still in a decent shape. We can still Ultimate Kothon next turn. Wump. Okay, I'll block here. Oh no, crap! Dang, he has a. I know he has a Snowball. Oh my god, we're punting here. I thought he's not gonna deal 1 damage, and then I'm like, oh yeah, he has a Snowball in hand. We know about this. It is known that he has this, and we just completely ignored it. Punt. We should have been able to Ultimate Kothon this turn, and then we'd be in great shape. I should have just taken 2. And then we're drawing Vanquishes, which are not good in this matchup. It is good against Sludrock, though. Unfortunately, I have to 2-for-1 it, 2-for-1 myself to deal with it. But we can deal with it. Yeah, that was a rather huge misplay, I'd say. But we can still get out of this. Whew. Yeah. Having the Wump, you know, online is quite strong. That's why we heavily prioritize the silence on the first one. Let's see. So we can Vanquish the 4-2, but he can probably attack him with a 3-3, and I can't block. He's attacking him with that one too. Alright, I'll try to trade here. I don't think he's gonna let me. Yeah, I was about to say, like, it doesn't make sense to make this attack. And we just draw 2 power. Alright, we're a little flooded, but even so, we should have been able to play this more, like, better and win the game. but I did not. I did should not have blocked the Kothon. Straight up, that lost the game. I should have a 4/4 blocker, and I shouldn't be taking damage here. Ugh. Yeah, there's pretty much no way to get out of this. It didn't help that we got really flooded, but I certainly didn't do myself any favors. But hey, at least we get to play against and lose to a Yeti deck, which is definitely one of my favorite kind of theme decks out there. All right, we drew way too much power, regardless. All right, so but yeah, this deck is quite powerful. Definitely lost to a misplay there. But other than that, I think it handles the field very well. It does a lot of powerful things, gains a bunch of life, has hard to deal with units, has efficient spells, just everything you want in a deck. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure you play this deck on ladder if you want to climb.